Yeah, let's try that again without a muted mic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 451 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast. My name is Brad Odell, and with me, as always, is
your contented king of paintball. I'm contented because I have a yearning for the mines and
yearning for the mines. Are you mining? Are you mining the craft?
I may or may not be crafting mines while I enjoy our conversation tonight.
Fantastic. Myself and Zach actually jumped into a game of Minecraft the other day, and he's
that person who just like doesn't have a job. He does, obviously, but you go to bed and you've got like a little bit of a farm go, and you come back and there's like the Taj Mahal built.
No, actually, it was the exact opposite. We couldn't get anything going.
Brittany's the only one watching. You know what? I feel glad that you are watching us tonight, Britt. Just shows what you've got going tonight. That's amazing. But yeah, this fantastically produced and run podcast and radio show is brought to you by Moncton Paintball, Intensity Customs, Commando Paintball in Ottawa, who, surprise kids, I'm going to be darkening your doorstep on Sunday night at around 7 o'clock where there'll be nobody there. Yay! We're going to talk about, I have to go to Ottawa this weekend.
Oh, right. Yes, sorry. No, I heard, I don't know why I heard I'm going to Moncton where there will be nobody there. That I don't know how that got in.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, well, there's definitely going to be somebody at Moncton this weekend because Airsoft New Brunswick is doing their game, which I won't be able to go to. Yeah, of course you would be off this weekend and coming to visit, and I have to leave. You don't want to come in. Oh, she said she's off this weekend, and I'm going to Ottawa. You do not want to be in the truck that I'm going to be in. It's not going to be. No. Ryan, hey buddy. Once again, my fantastic watch that Ryan Russell made, watch band Ryan Russell made for me, received many compliments. It's certainly not the watch on there. It's most people are just like, oh wow, that's really nice. Did someone make that for you? And I just tell them to look up Ryan. What else? Who else brings us this fantastic podcast, Bradley?
We are doing a trial run with a brand new supporter. We're doing a trial run with a brand new supporter of Northern Hydration.
Ooh.
Fantastic name. They are a what they call an athletic drink manufacturer based out of Mississauga. I think it's out of Mississauga. It's definitely out of Ontario. The box they shipped me came out of Mississauga, so I'm assuming that's where they're from. They make 3 beverages. It's in a can. It's carbonated. It's basically like it's an athletic beverage. So it's a hydration beverage. So it's like it's high. I feel like you're high in salt.
I feel like you're sidestepping some sort of legalities here with those terms, and
no. It's literally printed on the can. It's like like hydration beverage or athletic beverage.
All right, I'm down.
They have 3 different flavors. They've got lemon, orange, and lime. All 3 are fantastic, but the lime. Okay, here's the thing: and you'll attest to this, a good hydration drink. This is high in salt. It's very high in salt because your body needs the electrolytes, the salt, right?
But does it taste salty?
So the lime.
That sounds like a yes.
The lime specifically tastes like that sip you get when you get the salted rim on a lime margarita.
I mean, it's not exactly a deal killer. That's not a deal breaker.
I love it. It was fantastic. And the lemon, body. The lime is my favorite. The lemon, top notch. Orange comes in third for me. Brittany loved the orange.
I mean, you know my terrible hydration habits, so I am definitely.
Yeah, you'll like these. We got to get you some cans. We got to get you some. I'm shooting some footage at some point soon. Hopefully, I think I'm going to head out to the field on Sunday. Probably go up to Fredericton and shoot some photos with some gear and whatnot. But yeah, check out Northern Hydration.
Yeah, for sure.
Their stuff is phenomenal. Idea. It's so good. I actually Zach, our buddy Zach, actually, he sent it to me. He was like, hey man, he's like, check these guys out on Instagram. He's like, I think you would work really well with these guys. So I shot them a message on Instagram. After a little bit, I ended up getting like what felt like a very automated, like, thank you for contacting us. Please reach out via this email, blah, 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 right? So I did.
You have one of those?
We do. So I reached out over email thinking, okay, this is probably like a dead end. And then it came back with like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Where can I ship the product? Like, give me your address. I'll ship you a couple of cans.
Goodness.
3 days later, the product arrived on a Sunday afternoon.
Did they not listen to our podcast?
I don't think so.
I have a feeling that they didn't listen to our podcast and they have no idea what they've gotten themselves into, which makes me want even more of this, because if they don't know, I want them to.
They are no, honestly, like, because like we were working with Quench for a little while. We're done with them. Their stuff was good, but this stuff is better. And on top of that, and this is a big thing that I was really surprised by. It doesn't take much to surprise me, I guess. It's carbonated. It's a carbonated. Think of it like carbonated Gatorade, but like not as sweet. There's sugar in it. There is sugar. Because
I'm not that sweet, so that's fine.
Right, it's one of those drinks where it's like, oh, it's high in sugar and salt. It's like, yeah, because that's what you want on a day running around at 30 degrees plus. It's playing paintball, right? You need sugar, you need salt, you need water.
If if your sweat does not taste salty, you might be about to hit heat stroke, kids. And your king recommends hydration. I would appreciate if you try our partner's product, but for the love of God, drink some water, kids. A Gatorade and 2 bottles of water. If that sweat ain't salty, you're in trouble.
Yeah. So excuse me. So Northern Hydration, check them out. Their website is northernhydration.com. Super easy, super simple, right?
Just like us.
They're tall boy cans. Like they're the same size as like a Monster Energy drink.
Okay.
And they are $3 a can. You order them in 12 packs. It's $36 for a pack.
Not too bad for a tall boy. I mean, for a tall boy, real hydration is overrated. Shut up, Charles. You're not helping us any. Except Charles did host a fantastic game this weekend out at AXP.
Yeah, let's hear about that. Let's dude, we're gonna get into that.
I think there is some seriously cool potential there for a bigger style game in New Brunswick. They definitely figured out somebody clearly listened to us, and I appreciate that, because and I don't say that to be smug. I say I'm not laughing. So awesome smug. That he did it, and it not only did he do it, it worked.
That's the part I'm kind of laughing at.
If you're here, I can't believe it worked either, but it did. If you're here and you want to shoot, we've got something for you. You can go pew pew. That's fine. We need people to go pew pew. You want to do some missions? Got you there, buddy. He had missions that were the missions were a lot of fun. If you want to do objectives, Tito's is very good for hydration. If you wanted to complete the objectives that he had, you wanted to be a medic or you wanted to do something, it was there for you. Good turnout. The field was awesome. The prop that I don't think I've never seen it at any game, but what do I know, was an artillery gun. Like it went all the way up. And then
sorry, I'm definitely not laughing at a joke from that.
So the team was running to go and crank the gun up to its fully risen position, and our team had to try to defuse it. They had a really cool bomb set up that looked really neat. But they also had this artillery cannon that they had to crank up. So they would run out, and every 5 minutes you'd get a respawn. But at the end of it, if the other team did their job right, they would set it off, which they did. And we got a really cool boom, like a big, good size explosion. And we're not talking D-Day size explosion, but still.
No, D-Day size explosions require licensed pyrotechnics.
This did not require a licensed pyrotechnician, but it was still just killer. I'm looking forward to see what more they're going to do next year, because they're already talking bigger and better.
Amazing.
Moncton came out. The boys from Moncton, Josh and the lads, shut down the field and brought out a whole gang to come and get a little more hype, get a little more people out there to bring the game up. And even though the weather wasn't perfect, because it's New Brunswick this summer, it was still a really nice day. It wasn't too hot. The food was good. Um, the boss lady was whipping together some really good. There was some good chili cheese dogs. There's some fat glizzies hanging around. She she makes really really good food. Like I don't get to a field very often. You get burgers and hot dogs at a field, and that's always appreciated and lovely. But this was chili. She had beanless chili, bud. It made me a very happy king. So
I love that.
I just love chili. It's
I mean, who doesn't? Let's be honest here. Chili
but
is
yeah,
phenomenal.
it was an open class game. Everybody played really well. There was no like overly aggressiveness. Everybody was super cool. Ran into people from all over New Brunswick. One of the lads from Cap City. My God, my brain just didn't want to work. We had guys from Pictou showed up. We had some. I met the kid who played MagFed at the street ball event. I met the rest of his team, and there is a. I'm gonna be honest. There was a lot of mag lads there.
There's nothing
There
wrong with
was
that.
there was a lot of mag monkeys, and they were so much fun because they're maritime mag fed players, so we're used to being abused because that's you want to play at a disadvantage, shut up and don't complain, and we do it willingly. I don't do it as much anymore, but anyways, these guys played all day mag fed. They were good mood, good spirit. The teams were really well balanced. They pulled a few people off. They moved it over. Everybody was really content to swap over. I got asked to switch. I jumped on the other team. The hell? Why not? I want to have a target-rich environment. I painted poor Charles. He came running out of the woods.
But did he deserve it?
Yes, because he was running towards his big fancy artillery gun, and the only solution I had was to use my sweet leaf and send as much paint as humanly possible at Charles.
Love it.
And we did. They still the points don't matter. Nobody's counting the points at a big game. But I think it's gonna get bigger. I think he's already talking about stuff that they're gonna switch out. So I'm excited. I want to see this get bigger and better.
Good. So do I. I want to see it grow. I want to see things happen. I love seeing success, especially in maritime paintball.
Hold on. We got a good callback here. Thank you, Explore. Damn,
so Coyote Force just thinks Coyote Force thinks MagFed's dying because they're not allowed to play against the NXL guys. That's it. That's a complete lie. I'm making that up.
Allegedly.
Joke.
Allegedly.
So,
if you say
what
that,
was it about Coyote Force? What was it that? Why did I start chirping on them ages ago?
Oh,
I don't even remember.
I can't remember either, but it was.
I think they said something about NXL required 0 skill, like speed.
Lookout. Yeah, it ended up being Lookout NXL. Here comes the Coyote Force.
That's what it was.
Technically, it was a guest blogger that wrote that article. Okay, that's okay. That guest blogger just provided us with a target, and I appreciate them.
Okay, a rule of thumb.
Excuse me.
A rule of thumb is if you post something, that article's been taken down. It's not on their website anymore. I just tried to view it.
MagFed was a separate sport from paintball and something along those lines. Yeah, okay, Cameron.
Cameron. Wow. Thanks, Cameron. You want to start doing like logging our shows for us? Because I remember that better than we did. Anyways, you're responsible for your guests. Just saying.
Are also you the guys in general or these guys? Because I mean, we're responsible for our guests. We're looking at you, Kat.
I am responsible
for
the
our
guests
fantastic kind of sponsors.
Yes. I am responsible for the guests that I bring on the show. Therefore, Coyote Force can be held. Yeah. Coyote Force could be held responsible for the articles that they post on their website, whether it's by a guest author or not. Let's get into this. I kind of want to. Oh man, this is a long article.
Are you going back and rereading the Coyote Force article?
What? It was posted today. July 3rd. Is MagFed is dying. Let's talk about it. That's the name of the article. That's the title of the article. Is MegFed dying? Let's talk about it. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. It's painful. This is a quote, and I quote. This is the opening sentence. First of all, guest essay by Tyler Fairplay. What a fantastic name to be writing an article about paintball. That's like Les McBurney being a firefighter, because I saw that one earlier today. You know what I mean?
Just keep going, dude. Don't tee me up, man. You're just.
It's so first opening sentence. It's painful to admit, but MegFed paintball is bleeding out while new players are stampeding to airsoft instead. It continues to say the next generation is choosing cheaper, easier, more accessible milsim options, and MegFed is being left behind. Sure, there are still players who hold it down with pride and a few decent events popping up here and there, but if we're being honest, the scene just isn't what it used to be. Without strategic reinvestment and a stronger new player funnel, paintball, and with it MegFed, risks becoming a niche pastime rather than thriving mainstream recreational sport. I resent them bringing in the whole of paintball into that. They said MegFed is dying, not paintball. A big part of the problem.
Make sure we link this in the show notes or something, because I want this article linked.
Oh, absolutely.
For posterity.
A big part of the problem is that players aren't supporting events. You see folks complaining all day about not having enough MegFed games, but then they won't show up or buy a ticket when organizers actually run them. It's impossible for a field to justify a dedicated MegFed day if half the people who beg for it ghost when it's time to commit. Goes on to say a couple of bright spots like MegFed Meat Series, Balance of Power, and Hell Under Siege, none of which I know what those are. Here we go.
Hell Under Siege.
Then I know of Hell Survivors, but not Hell Under Siege.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Then there's this wave of this mixed is in quotations, mixed or hybrid events. That sounds wrong. It sounds mean when they use the word mixed with quotations. Like, that's got weird tone, like a weird tone to me. But that's probably just me. It's probably the obscene amount of caffeine I consumed like half an hour ago. MegFed plus open class hoppers, which are basically a cash grab to cover numbers. Sure, they keep the lights on, but they water down everything MegFed players used to care about. Limited ammo, tactical pacing, teamwork. Once you let 200-round loaders in, it's no longer MegFed, no matter what the sign says. Anyways, they continue to go on to complain about airsoft. And at no point do they actually provide a solution. So
we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. I'm sorry. My entire life is governed by
Cameron gets it. Speedballers have to use a different water fountain. That is the vibe I get when they put the word mixed in quotations and talk about how it's watered down everything MegFed. Like, sorry, is MegFed not pure enough for you anymore? You're taking
exception to this. This is funny.
Again, it could be the monumental amount of caffeine I've consumed, but
I'm going to go with that. But
meanwhile, airsoft has come in and eaten MegFed's lunch. The realism is there. The price to get in is way lower, and there's a ton of fresh energy with milsim events that just aren't happening in paintball anymore. If you're a young player deciding where to drop your cash, airsoft looks like a better value. No, it doesn't. Have you looked at the price of an airsoft gun? Oh.
I mean, again, this comes down to you get what you put in, and yeah, I've seen some wildly expensive airsoft guns. Anything that goes clack clack and is HPA driven is a lot of money. You get what you put in with airsoft. I will give them that. Again, my LV costs new, and LV costs as much as one of those fancy airsoft guns.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's the price of consumables. That's where you get hammered in. That's where the argument comes down to. How much paint are you going to use on a speedball day? Or hell, let's go MagFed. A bag of MagFed paint will not go as far as a bag of airsoft BBs.
No, absolutely not. Also, you got to put 10 times as many BBs on somebody to get them to actually call their hit. I'm joking, Airsoft New Brunswick. I know you guys take that very seriously, and I'm just messing with you.
Do they? They definitely take calling your hits seriously. And,
I know.
I love it. Dude, I want them to. If you're not going to call your hits,
absolutely.
or I'm going to shoot you again, which I want to do anyways.
Let me keep this article going because yeah. It doesn't help that innovation has slowed to a crawl. There was a time when new markers and mag systems were coming out like clockwork, and it was genuinely exciting. Now, paint suppliers like Graffiti, that's not a paint supplier, that's paint brand. Not even a brand, it's a paint flavor type. What do we call that?
I don't know. I hear a re coming, and
right. Who once provided a consistent solid round ball option have basically fallen off a cliff. So first of all, Graffiti is made by Valken, which we're going to talk about later.
Fun fact about Valken. Yeah, we're going to get into that one in a few minutes.
First Strike discontinued their Gorilla line and pulled back on investing in real marker development. Shops like Valken have hyped up promising entry-level options like Ripsaw, only to delay and delay with nothing substantial to show. Yeah, First Strike can't get like they slowed on the Gorilla line because it wasn't making any money. Why would they invest? Why would they put more into it? Why would you buy First Strike round ball when you could buy GI or Valken round ball for less? Just saying. And Valken is not a shop. Valken is a full-on sporting goods brand and manufacturer.
I feel like this article was written solely to piss you off, and
I think this article was written by AI. To call Graffiti a brand and Valken a shop, it's either AI or just poorly written. On top of that, parts availability is drying up, leaving players struggling to keep their gear running. Manufacturers seem unwilling to modernize proven platforms like the Dam or the Tipman Tipex. And was this written by Turtle?
Can you someone tag Turtle in that article, because clearly.
And you can see why. Sales have probably dropped so dramatically at the boardroom level that no one inside these companies can justify championing a MagFed product development anymore. Thank goodness for Planet Eclipse, who stepped up with the EMF 100 and more recently the beautiful EMF 200, single-handedly trying to keep MagFed innovation alive while everyone else seems to have walked away. Fields aren't investing in MagFed either. They make more money selling paint to rec ball crowds. They want quick turnover games, not 10 guys in full kit playing hide and seek for 20 minutes on a 5-acre field. He's
not wrong.
He's not wrong, but it sounds like he just completely went back. Like he just kind of answered his entire argument with that one paragraph and in a really mean way. MagFed is dying. This is terrible because Fields don't want 10 guys in full kit playing hide and seek for 20 minutes on a 5-acre field. Like, that's cruel. That's meaner than what I would have said.
Actually, are you sure you didn't write this, Bradley?
Swear to God, maybe I did. Maybe I did in like a fever dream. It's been hot.
I watched Fight Club last night. I'm thinking maybe we're gonna have to discuss the content of some of the paintballs.
Right. The last paragraph here, he closes out. I still love MagFed. There's nothing quite like it when it clicks, but let's not kid ourselves. The scene is shrinking, not growing. If we want to see it survive, we need to actually show up, support the events, build the community back, because right now the rest of the world has moved on.
Okay, that part was definitely not written by AI.
That was a legitimate, proper end to that paragraph, so kudos to that. That second last paragraph, though, was savage, though. 10 guys full kit playing hide and seek for 20 minutes on a 5-acre field.
That's not an accurate description, though.
It is very accurate. It is mean, though. That sounds mean.
That's it's bad when even you're calling it mean.
That's oof. Anyways, is MagFed dying? Yes. Is it dead? No. Will it ever die 100%? No. I think I can see MagFed going the same way as Pump, being one of those things where like you got total diehards who will never give it up and you have to pry it from their cold dead hands, and they're going to be good at it. They're going to be good with it.
Yeah, those pump guys are still. It sounds so dirty, and yet, pump players are their own special kind of breed of player, and I appreciate it because that's an art form, nothing short of. Yeah,
and ultimately, Fields don't make money on MagFed players. That's just a given. You know what the solution is here? What I think the solution is, MagFed players, if you want your part of the sport to grow or even just survive, look at what the airsoft groups are doing, where
Those guys,
they're
yes.
organized, they do not fight amongst themselves, and they do, but they keep it pretty.
They are, when they fight amongst themselves, I've noticed they are savage and they deal with any dissent or bull
Mhm.
very quickly, and it's put down. And it needs to be,
Yeah.
if you want this group, they play once every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I mean, we're talking New Brunswick. They've got more. There's lots of airsoft players.
Yeah, what I mean is like they're organized to the point
Mhm.
where when Airsoft New Brunswick, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like when Airsoft New Brunswick is like, okay, we're going to get a game together every 2 weeks. We're all going to this field. We're going to go to this field on this day. We're going to play from this time to this time.
That's exactly what they do.
And it's that. And they all go. And I
Yep.
think that's what MagFed has to do. If MagFed wants to survive, you are a niche within a very niche sport. If you want your little pocket of the world to survive, you need to organize. Stop relying on the fields. Get 20 MagFed players together or whatever you can get and go to the field and say, hey, we want to play the field. We want to book your field. What's it going to cost to book your field? And then as a group, you come together, you pool the cash. It gets cheaper for everybody individually as you get a bigger and bigger crowd. I assume. So you just gotta organize and you gotta move as one big unit. You cannot MagFed players cannot show up to walk on day. You can show up to walk on days. You can't show up to a walk on day and expect special treatment though. If you're going to play with a MagFed marker, you're going to show up on a walk-on day. You're going to get shot at by me with a speedball gun, and you're going to like it because you're at a walk-on day. Deal with it. If you want your special MagFed only events, you can't rely on the fields to organize that. You got to go to the field and say, look, we want to rent your field. We want to book your field. Not, can you run a MagFed only event? We promise we've got 20 guys to come by, and then only 4 of them show up.
Yeah, they want cold hard cash, and that's
Money
not.
talks.
Yeah. And that's not just because our fantastic sponsor, Moncton Paintball, has a dope MagFed field, and Commando has a wild MagFed field that we love to see people book. I would love to see, again, I say that, dragging my MagFed kit out. I actually dug out my my TMC for this weekend and turned it on, turned it up, it fired, and then immediately put it back in the bag and took out my LV and went to town because it had a hopper and I didn't have to reload it every time.
Right? You see it all the time.
Matthew Sean, look at this man here. Ian, Too Tall, organizes a MagFed event.
According to our article, that's watering it down. Which I think is ridiculous. Absolutely. You want if you don't have enough MagFed players and you could supplement it with pump players, do it. You know what I mean? Like, do it.
Charles plays pump against speedball players, and we love you for it because there is still nothing scarier than seeing a pump player walk out a bunch of speedballers, and then the speedballers, or paintballers in general, just walking out with their heads down, going, "Oh, we got."
I think
Guillermo at D-Day, like, dude, just G-Man just rolls with that pump. I mean, it's pump fiction, but still, like, he's not afraid and he doesn't miss. It's a finesse I lack.
That's it. They're savages with it, and I like, I don't want to be that guy, but like, MagFed is dying because MagFed players. I'm just going to put a period there. MagFed is dying because of the MagFed players.
I am very happy to say, like I said, I saw a lot of MagFed players this weekend.
Awesome.
Oh, dude, it was wonderful. And it wasn't even, it was a decent amount of them. And they were so happy to be playing, and there was no beefy bullshit about.
It was an open class event too, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. There's pump players there. There was a couple pump guys there. There was some lots of MagFed guys, lots of operators. There were renters. The only thing that annoyed me about MagFed is dealing with an empty mags mid-game. Yes.
So
keep a pod. I hot load. I keep the mag and a pod ready for that.
I've got a theory on that. Because I was talking with Zach, and he came to the same realization that I came to several years ago, was unless you really, what's the right word? Unless you really, really enjoy the technical side of MagFed, and you like really enjoy every aspect, including playing with MagFed gear, but also reloading your mags and teching your gear and like making sure all your sights that you really don't need are on there, and your hand grips and all that.
You let a tinker.
Yeah, you need to want to tinker, and you need to be okay and enjoy all the fiddly little bits that come with MagFed, because it really is. MagFed is cumbersome. It is not elegant. It is a colossal pain in the ass, to be honest with you. Whereas
But if you
us
like it, you love it.
speedballers, no, that's just it. If you like it, you love it, right? Whereas speedballers just pick up our gun and go. You know what I mean? Like we throw a pod pack on, and yeah, we got to load our pods and we got to air up, but then we go. Done. By the time you've wound one of your mags, I've filled 4 pods. So for me, what happened was I loved MagFed. I still enjoy MagFed, and I can still enjoy a good MagFed game. But it came down to like
camera.
It came down to I can't be bothered to spend 15 minutes between matches winding my mags and loading the paint and worrying about, okay, well, if I put the mag in now, how long until I'm going to shoot it, because now the ball's under pressure and it could warp, and then I can have a break, and then the break in the mag.
Oh, I was talking to Phil this weekend actually at AXP, because he was there, and Phil is the ultimate battle buddy. This dude is an absolute monster on the field, and that was the same thing we kind of came up to, is like, oh great, my balls are going to dimple because I left them in the mag too long. Also, Charles Holton, they wouldn't let him play stock class. They wouldn't let him play stock. It's like, what? That's terrible. Like, just let the man play stock. It doesn't matter. And what's a 40-round hopper? Is that like a tactical?
No, it's like an itty bitty tiny hopper that goes on the pump guns. A lot of the pump guys run them.
I saw a guy running those on a Nova at.
Yeah. They're kind of like they're shaped like Bullet Bill.
Yep. The 2 lads that were at SNL when the Hellion went down, the only other 2 Nova users I've met, they were there. Good news, the Hellion is working. The Odin is working. The Dreadnought needs a new insert, because I need to actually engrave what frickin' gun it goes to, because that's what it was. That's why the Dreadnought wasn't shooting right, because it had the wrong insert in it. I don't know if I did it or when it happened, but that is
with the wrong one, maybe.
No, it definitely didn't. It happened at some point here. I know it did. But you know, it's I'm just
that's Cameron Brow's got a good comment there too. Like, worst is losing a $40 or $50 mag on the field. That's another thing that people don't think about when it comes to MagFed, because they're like, oh, it's way cheaper to play MagFed. I'm like, is it though? A good MagFed marker plus all your mags, and then you got your vest, and then you got, and then if you want any like accessories on the marker, it can add up pretty fast. And I'm not saying it's cheaper or more expensive. I'm just saying it's not just plain cheaper. End of sentence. It's actually probably as expensive as mid-tier speedball gear. But your mags wear out. My pods don't wear out. And if my pod does wear out, it costs $3 to replace it.
Hold on. Your pods do wear out. It's called the pod economy.
Yeah, but that's give a pod, take a pod.
I've gotten to that point at Moncton. God love them. I'm gonna just send some money over to the gas man, be like, buy a dozen pods, and then I'll just come and take the 4 that I need, and I'll just leave them here.
Yeah. And then you got the guys like they're Explorer says you're paranoid about losing mags. Derek Joker there, he says, I always load 1 less round and never leave them under pressure. Cool. You know what I do? I fill my pod and I throw it in my pod pack and I just go.
Matthew Sean is just dropping some wonderful comments and knowledge today.
Deliver cheap. EMAC with the PAL low cal hopper is the top starter pack. The only thing I don't like is the PAL and the EMAC are you can use a PAL without the EMAC, but if you want the PAL to do its thing, you need to use an EMAC. Derek
Question
has
for
painted all my Megs gold so I can spot them on the ground. You know what I do when I lose a pod? Nothing.
What's PAL?
PAL?
Yeah.
I forget what it stands for, but the PAL hopper was a mechanical hopper. So every time you pulled the EMEC, if you look at an EMEC, when you pull the trigger, look at the feed neck, you'll see this little thing pop up.
Yeah.
It's like a little button thing pops up. And what it does is on the PAL, it hits a little actuator button like inside the PAL marker, and it agitates the paint.
Oh.
It shake and bakes for you.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
he's right. That would make a great starter set.
It's all mechanical. It's you just pull the trigger, and then you're not dealing with like a really garbage like shake and bake hopper, right? As you're shooting, there's this little thing inside of it that just kind of keeps going like boop boop boop. It doesn't spin or anything like that, but it kind of agitates the paintballs so that you don't get little jams. Great. Pneumatically agitated loader. Thank you. That's what PAL is.
Somebody give Explorer a cookie, or at least a hearty thank you.
Right? Yeah. So if we were, we technically are on Twitch, but none of you watch us on Twitch. But if we were, I would say somebody gift them a sub.
He would be so happy with that.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, MagFed is dying because MagFed players are just. You guys look at Airsoft. Stop hating on Airsoft and thinking that they're eating your lunch. Start looking at what they're doing and why they are doing better than you. So that's what I got to say about that.
And that, you know what really grinds my gears is that's your 2 cents. Okay.
That's my 2 cents. That's my 20 minutes of 2 cents. Speaking of Valken, though, speaking of the shop Valken, who apparently sells the brand graffiti. Sorry, it's a bad joke. I know, it's terrible.
No, that's fine.
They've declared bankruptcy and everyone's freaking out. They're like, oh my God, Valken's declared bankruptcy. Paintball is dying. It's not. Here's a kicker. Here's the thing. First of all, Valken does a lot more than paintball. They are huge into the air gun sports. Think like competitive BB guns kind of thing, like biathlon stuff, right? So they're big into that. They're big into a bunch of stuff. Valken does more than just paintball. Paintball is just kind of where they started because they used to be called National Paintball Supply back in the day. That was Gino. Gino started National Paintball Supply, which was a massive wholesaler, which is where you bought all your stuff if you were a shop. Fast forward, we get Valken. Okay, now we're in Valken. Valken's declared bankruptcy. What people are not understanding is that Chapter 11 bankruptcy is not the end of a company. What it is essentially they have petitioned to the government for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which is also Chapter 11 protection. So that basically forces all their creditors who are saying, yo, you owe us money, which if you've never run a business, you'd be very surprised to find out that most businesses operate on a negative margin at all times. Like they owe money. You're always running on credit. You're basically constantly borrowing money and paying back your money.
Oh my God.
When you get
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm clicking this. I don't feel shame for it. Not even a little bit. That's funny.
Savage, man. That's savage.
God, I love you.
I can't say that on the radio, but that's savage.
Wait, what do you mean we can't say that? What do you mean we can't say that on the after?
Can we?
If you have Parkinson's, you auto shake the hopper.
Yeah,
that's hilarious, and I don't. It is funny. I am not afraid to say it is. I'm sorry. Shake your head at me all you want.
So, anybody who's worried about Valken, basically all they're doing is that they've basically declared for protection, which then tells the creditors, "Hey, back off while we restructure the business, come up with a new business plan for the future of how we're going to pay back our debts." That's all it is. It's basically
you pay now.
It's basically, it's basically leave us alone. Let us figure this out. And we're going to restructure. Maybe we'll sell off some assets. But it basically tells the creditors to back off. You can't touch them for a little while. Here's the kicker, though, that they were going to produce a plan. They're going to basically go with that plan to the creditors and say, hey, I can pay you back 70% of the debt I owe you by selling these assets or because of this business plan. And the creditors will typically say, yeah, that's fine. I'd rather 70% of something than 100% of nothing. But the creditors can also say, nah, no deal. In which case, if they really want their money back, they technically have to sue. But once a company goes truly bankrupt, you basically be like, I'm suing you, and the company goes, well, all I have is like this warehouse. You can have the warehouse.
Yeah, it's called getting
it's
blood from a stone.
Yeah, basically. I think it's like if you look at what's that?
Words.
What's the company? The Hudson Bay Company. They went under. They declared bankruptcy. They're gone under. And
yeah, that's wild.
Canadian Tire bought the only thing that they had to sell. Canadian Tire literally bought the only thing Hudson Bay had to sell, which was their IP. They bought their logo and the rights to the colors for a couple of million.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's that. So Valken's going to be totally fine. I think what you're going to see happen, and what I would like to see happen, to be honest with you, I'm not a businessman. I don't know high level business like this. But I would suspect and I would hope that Valken will basically look at their business plan and go, you know what? We're done making hardware. No more masks, no more guns, no more hoppers. Maybe stick to soft goods and paint. Done. Right? Because when was the last time you seen somebody actually running a Valken marker?
I've never seen a Valken marker.
Right, because they're identical to the Tippmann markers. Because they're just relicensed Tippmann markers. Valken's been trying to do this like electronic thing. I guarantee you, if you go looking, you could probably find that it's a licensed product from a Chinese manufacturer. That's how a lot of these companies work. The Ripsaw, I don't think you'll ever get the Ripsaw. That thing's probably done. Dead in the water.
Yeah, I thought I knew I heard of something that they marker that they built. I just didn't know. I thought it was. I didn't know it wasn't released. I thought it had seen
the
market.
Ripsaw. No, it's been delayed over and over again.
Well, yeah, now it's definitely delayed.
Yeah, right. So just dump the hardware stuff and stick to what you're good at. Also, the Ripsaw is a Tippmann knockoff, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
It's a Stormer. That's what it is. The Ripsaw was a Stormer. Everyone was like, "Oh, Valken's coming out with this." Da, 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 da. Yeah, cool. It's a Stormer. Oh, the V17, the Valken 17. That's an M17 from Milsig. They licensed it out of the Taiwanese factory that Milsig works with. Like, so dump it. Be done with it. Stick with paint. Stick with soft goods. Done. You're going to make less money? Probably. Are you going to be less in debt? Probably.
Possibly.
Right? So that's what I want to see. That's Valken makes good paint. Why don't you just stick to that? Unfortunately, there's been reports that their quality in paint has also gone down since they moved all of the factories out of Korea and into Jersey. So I don't know how that's going. Maybe that's what put them over the edge. Maybe the cost of setting up manufacturing in the U.S. is just like not paying off.
You're forced to move to New Jersey for the entirety of human history, and when the world ends, you'll have to sit outside the gates.
Oof.
Sorry. Dogma's a great movie. I've been craving it lately.
I don't remember the last time I watched Dogma.
Great movie.
It's been ages. Absolutely been ages. So Valken's fine. They're not going anywhere. Just expect hopefully less garbage. I'm sorry, but the Ripsaw's a Stormer. The M17 thing was just a Milsig M17. Just be better at paint and be good at soft goods. That's all we need.
Just be better.
Well, just unless you're going to sit down and completely re-engineer a speedball marker, and let's be honest, that's what they'd have to do. They'd have to come up with a low, mid, and high tier speedball gun. None of this MagFit stuff. And Gino's having health issues. That sucks. I wasn't aware that Gino was having health issues. That's man. I wonder if it's the stress. You know what I mean? Like if the stress of the company, because you don't just decide overnight to declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This isn't something where they wake up everyone leaves Friday going, yeah, everything's great. And then Monday morning they come in and they go, you know what? We're going to go bankrupt.
Screw it. We're calling it, boys.
Yeah. So, you make good paint, stick to that. but Valken's going to be fine. Nobody needs to freak out. Paintball's not dying. In fact, Paintball's going to be live on ESPN August 1st.
That was smooth, Bradley.
That was unplanned. Thank you. Anyways,
anyways.
August 1st, ESPN is hosting 3v3 Pro Division live game. Is going to be aired on ESPN. I don't have the details past that. I don't remember the times. It's probably going to be at stupid o'clock out east here because it's out east here, and our time zone is brutal. But I'm
pumped, an hour behind the rest of the civilized world. You mean?
It's not, yes, exactly. Well, it's an hour behind minimum from the rest of the civilized world. It's 4 hours behind like LA, which is, let's be honest, it's pretty much where all the money is flowing out of. So super pumped for that though, especially the 3v3, because you and I played a 3v3 tournament at Moncton. We played on the new format. So much fun.
I really liked that 3v3 format. I loved that field that we played on. That was so cool. I don't care if I think it's maybe I'm a bit of a contrarian, and everybody was so pissed off at that layout that I'm like, I want it.
No. I think they were pissed off at because it went against everything they had spent years getting good at.
I know, that's what made it so funny. I loved it.
Like, I remember walking the field and we're just like, because it's just a knee jerk, right? We're walking, they're like, okay, you going D side or snake side? And we both just like, both snake side.
Right. Again, for your back center player, I was like, wow, look at that. Yeah. The 3v3
that 3v3 they tested. It was phenomenal. Also, I didn't realize it. Looking at the top down now, I can see it, but I was kind of surprised when I walked the field and realized standing at the in the box, like getting ready to for breakout, you can't see the other players. They're blocked by the bunkers.
Nope.
Which is not usually the case.
I liked that.
Right?
I liked it. But again, I like being in that center position. I've found that's a happy place for me.
It was, I've never played I don't know if it was just like everything aligned, because I had a great team. Really wish I remember the names who I played with.
5v5 would be massively easier to televise. I think, yes, in terms of watchability, it would be a little more action than a 3v3.
No, I think 5v5 is harder to televise.
Explain.
Oh, I think he's worded. I think I misread it. 3v3 feels totally different than 5v5, but would be massively easier to televise. Yes. Okay, I agree with that. Sorry, I totally had that backwards in my head.
Yeah. ADHD, dyslexia. I get you there, buddy. I see why you thought that too, but
I didn't even mix up the letters. I completely mixed up like
the medium sentence. Is the message.
The 3v3 is going to be way easier to follow on TV. Right? Where the camera people only have to worry about 3 players per side, which means you only need, you need literally what is that? 40% less camera angles. So you're already
40% less camera angles. I'd buy that for $1.
Sounds like an infomercial.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the 3v3, you get a lot more movement, right? And there's a lot more happening on the field, but more, how do I word it? Like, there's more happening on the field, but there's less paint flying. That's the other thing too, because the way it was set up was a hopper and 4 pods max, done. Where normally these guys are a hopper and like 13 pods. So yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be super easy for the average person to follow who doesn't know anything about paintball.
Yep.
Right? Because you only have to worry about 3 people per side, not 5 per side anymore. So it's going to be way smoother, way easier. People are going to enjoy it. I think people are really going to enjoy it. I need to find out when it's airing, because I feel like it's going to be a really weird time, and I'm going to have to go probably record it or hope somebody somewhere torrents it and I can digitally borrow a copy.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think it's going to be great. I'm also loving the fact that ESPN did the whole thing last year where they did the whole like pre-recorded, kind of did a highlights with conversation with commentary, and saw that and then went, no, we're going to do live this time. So they must have seen something good in the other one. They also re-aired the other one, didn't they? Yeah, they re-aired it a couple of times at different times. And I feel like there's some stuff happening there. It's really it's really good. I feel like one-on-one, I see Explorer says that they should televise the Hormesis duel, even easier to follow. I'm sorry, but I think that would actually be boring to watch.
For a first timer, yes, a paintballer, like we would be interested in watching a 1v1 duel. But the casual viewer, I think you're not going to get a lot of casual
No, you need
viewers.
3v3 I think 3v3 is where it's at. And I really hope they keep the 3v3 around. I would love to see more 3v3 tournaments. Way easier to get 3 dudes at the field than it is to get 5, right?
Yeah. It's easier to get 6 players to do a 3v3 than it is to get 10 people to do a 5v5.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's just way easier to organize. The games are fast. I was listening to I was watching Paintball Ruined My Life, watching him talk, and he was talking about how he really enjoyed watching the 3v3, and I really hope I'm not putting words in his mouth, but this is what I heard, was he enjoyed watching the 3v3 because some of those 5v5 points, they go long. When you're getting into an 8-9 minute point, it's just like, like if you get the breakout, or you're off the break, cool, okay, they're down a body, and now they're just going to lock down lanes for 8 minutes. And I'm bored looking at my phone because I've lost interest because I have the attention span of a goldfish, and suddenly something happens. It's like, oh, well, I missed that. All right, cool. Whereas 3v3 was playing it and watching it was, it was go, 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 go. Because as soon as you're down a body, you know what I mean? That is 2v3. Like, oh, yeah. Right? And now it's way faster. So it's
things about to get spicy. Action is coming.
I think Moncton, the longest point was 2 minutes, 3. Like, they were fast points. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, we were moving at a pretty good clip when we started going. We really went.
Yeah, we burned through double round robin pretty fast. It was good, man. It was so much fun to play. The layout was interesting. Whoever designed that layout needs to come up with the next one.
Oh, I fully agree. But again, because I'm a sicko, and I think that anything that is going to upend the apple cart in terms of like public opinion, I'm in.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying like the whole Doritos side, Snake side, center, like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, that's fun. But it's kind of been when it gets to the point where you have Snake players, Dorito players, center players, back players, cool. You need to change it up. One person mentioned I think it was actually at the 3v3 at Moncton. Somebody had said they would love to see all the prelims be done. So like if you did like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? When if you got a 3-day tournament like NXL, Friday and Saturday, was it Friday and Saturday or just Friday? I think it was just Friday. Be the weird, wonky, blind layout that nobody's expecting. Like throw it out, like just do the weirdest thing, right?
And then have your proper normal layout.
And then
finger quote normal layout.
Have a permanent standardized layout. Like the Sunday game will be played on the same layout every time, every tournament, every match. So it becomes, you have to be quick and adaptable on Friday, and you got to be good on that weird field. And then your pros can play and get real good at the professional layout. It seems like a neat idea. I think I still like the idea of things getting like wonky and like keep them wonky.
Yeah, I would be.
But I understand where they were coming from.
I like wonky, but again, I'm
right.
also not somebody who plays in tournaments that regularly. And,
Yeah.
when money's involved, it's a little bit different. Like,
Exactly.
I definitely can understand that.
Are we able to compare this to like? Because I'm trying to think something. You're big F1, so I want to try and compare to this. Is there in F1? Do the tracks constantly change, or are they
Every
set
week.
tracks?
Every
Yeah.
week, every 2 weeks, they go to a different track. They race all over the world. They now do the tracks themselves. Like Monaco hasn't really changed in 60 years. They've added a chicane here. The tunnel's gotten a little longer. So, the basic layout is always the same.
Okay.
But they may go like when they went to Sochi that one year. Like nobody raced there before. This year
Right.
in Montreal, there were a bunch of rookies, and the lower series don't have a North American circuit. So like F2 and F3, they don't race in Montreal. So all these rookies this year went out to they all went out to race, and it was their first time on the Montreal track, so they were going into it blind. Yes, Matt, I know Monaco is boring. We all know it. It's a pretty track, and if I had hit the money, I would have that. I would be renting that apartment on that hairpin turn because, oh, that's my money. We're coming to the end of the ball game, aren't we?
We are.
Holy crap, that went fast.
Yeah, but a minute and a half.
What are we gonna
Is there
do?
anything else we wanted to talk about? Do we want to take this into an after show, or do we think we're good for the night?
We're good for the night. I got. I wish I had a little more, but it's just going to be me rambling and cursing and swearing. So I mean, it's the general evening.
We'll reserve
with
the
Tom.
after show for the guests. That's what we'll do.
Yes.
Maybe we'll make that a thing. When we have guests, we'll do in the after show. But when it's
Yeah.
just you and I, we'll.
We don't need to subject the fine people to more of us.
Yeah. So
good news, folks, Ottawa. I will be inside you on over the weekend. So if I can find any of the GOM lads, it'd be nice to see them. But if not, I'll just have to consent myself going to the Hard Rock for the evening.
That's I mean, it's not the worst thing to do.
There's worse ways to spend a Saturday, a Sunday night, but that's it. That's all. I think. Is it?
I think so. I don't think there's any news or anything like that. So,
no.
So folks, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll let's actually keep it going until I get it official. There it is. Just waiting for the system to kick over, so that way I know we're 100% ready to roll. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to end the show and then it start being the last 3 minutes of last week's show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to avoid. So
good job.
We're trying. We're doing our best.
We're still trying to avoid it. Okay, good.
I'm not
Explorer could be the best. No, Explorer, you can't be the next guest because then I wouldn't have somebody chirping my comments all show, and that would be sad.
It's true.
Explorer's chirping is fast becoming one of my entertaining moments of the show because he's usually got something funny to say.
Love it.
Usually.
Okay, folks, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, chit-chatting, liking, sharing, and all that. Please do us a favor. Go check out the folks that are sponsoring our show. Go check out Moncton Paintball, VPL, Virtual Paintball League. Go check those guys out. They got some cool stuff happening. Intensity
Paintball
Customs. Dirt. We didn't mention Intensity Customs at all.
I did mention Intensity Customs.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry.
Yes, I did. And Paintball Dirt. Go and subscribe to that newsletter.
And go check out Northern Hydration. We're working with them for a little bit, see how things go. We're testing the waters. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, go check them out, Northern Hydration. I can't recommend that product enough. It was so good. But that's it, folks. We're out of here. Until next week. Cheers.
Toodles.